Hi ladies, welcome to our first live training of 2021, Focus Friday with Pauline. Now each week, for those of you who are new to our group, I do a live training at this time, which is for me midday on a Friday. And I'm in Melbourne, Australia. So if you are watching, let me know where you're from. The time obviously will be different, and I have put in the event the translation into the different time zones. So if you have a question about that, then please ask if you're in one of those time zones that is not mentioned there. But there are a few good apps and websites that you can go to have that worked out for yourself. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome again. Also to all of our new members. So we have had a few weeks where I haven't been doing these because I've been taking time off, which has been amazing. And it's actually the first time that I have taken probably 2.5 weeks off completely from my business ever. And what is really exciting is that it's actually meant that I've been able to do that. So my business is set up so that I can take time off and not have my income plummet down to the ground. And it allowed me to also be open to inspiration, to new ideas, when I'm not focusing on having to come up with them. So hopefully you as well, ladies, have taken some time off. And I know that for some of my clients, they're still taking time off, which is awesome, and are not yet back at work yet. So that is fabulous. And I highly recommend that you do make sure that you do take the time to have your own break so that you're not working 24/7. So what I wanted to talk about today is how to avoid the hustle, how to stop having to or thinking that you have to have so many different things happening every day, every week in order to make your business successful. So having lots of different strategies happening at once and focusing on this one and then also having to do this and this as well. Having webinars, having programs that you're launching, having challenges left, right and center, constantly doing stuff and not necessarily seeing the results of it. Because at the end of the day, we're running businesses that we want to, of course, we want to help people, we want to do all those wonderful things, but the business is there to help you make money. And usually, particularly if you're in a service-based business like I am and the women that I help, you need to have clients in order to make that happen. Now, you don't need a huge number of clients, so that's really important if you position yourself so that you are charging the right amount for your services, but you do need to have a regular flow of clients coming in, and that can be a struggle for a lot of people, and that can be very, very stressful if you don't have a way or a strategy of continually having those clients coming in that you can repeat over and over again, and you're always searching for the next client. So let me know where you are in your business. Do you have that strategy in place, or are you always wondering where that next client's coming from? Now, if you are watching me, please say hello. If you're watching me live, let me know that you're watching. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. And if you are watching later on the replay, then pop in #replay. As we go along, if you've got any questions, please ask and I will answer them. This will be a short and sweet training today, but it's going to be really, really powerful, and it will be an eye-opener if you are someone who is still looking for your place, the strategy that's going to work for you in your business. So the first thing, step one, we've got a few steps here. Step one in finding that strategy for you is to have your messaging really, really dialed in. Because if you are not super, super clear with anything that you're putting out there online, in your emails, in the way that you talk, then you're not going to be speaking to the right person. You're not going to be attracting the right person. And therefore, anything that you put out there is going to be slightly off and won't have the impact that it needs to have. So you must know who this person is that you're going to speak to. And you must direct all of your messaging to that person. I can't stress this enough. And we've all heard the ideal client repeated over and over again and how important that is, but it really, really is. You need to be as specific as possible with who that person is that you're helping and what you help them with, and then everything that you do needs to be aimed at them. So if you're someone who maybe helps mums to maybe mums to when they're empty nesters, to move to that next stage in their life and help them discover what their purpose is, then that's what you need to talk about. You only need to talk about their problems, the problems that they're waking up in the morning and feeling like they have no more, that they're not needed anymore because the children have all moved out. They used to have all this structure in their life, and now all of a sudden they have all this time and they don't know how to fill it. So you don't start talking about other stuff that doesn't relate to them, or that's just vaguely related to them. The more clear, the more specific that you can be with what you say, the more you are going to be attracting the right person that you're going to be, is going to be your potential client, the more they'll resonate with you, and the easier it will be for you to continually have those clients coming into you. So that's your first step, is to get your messaging really, really dialed in. Now, if you are finding this a challenge, then let me know below and I can help you with that. So number 2 is to decide or clarify what your hook is. So what is that thing that you do, that thing that you help people overcome, that problem that is specific to your person and your the problem that they're having? And you need to position yourself as the solution to that problem. So you're not going to position yourself as someone who helps people lose weight, or someone who helps people grow their business, or someone who helps people have a better relationship, because these are big problems. These are big, high-level, general problems. What you need to do is position yourself as the person who helps maybe newly married couples to negotiate their new relationship once they start a family. I just made that up. Or you're someone who helps women who are in a career to move to the next level in their career. But you have to have those specific outcomes available, and the hook that you have needs to relate to that person and that problem. So for example, I help women hone their messaging and create the perfect offer that's going to resonate with their perfect client. So I'm not someone who helps people grow their business. I'm not going to be the person who helps you have more money. By really honing in on what that specific thing is that I do, and for you as well, then it's going to be very clear to someone who has that problem that I'm the person to help them. And the same in your situation. So what is your hook? What is that specific problem that you help for that specific person? The biggest problem of my clients, for example, is to have consistent clients coming in so that... Okay, that was my phone falling down, but we'll fix that up. Here we go. Let's try that again. So the joys of technology. Let's see if that'll work. We'll try that again. Hopefully I won't fall down now. Now I've gone all big. Let's see how we are here. Okay, so I look really big now, ladies, so I don't know how I look to you. Let me just see if that will work. Okay, let's get that off. Okay, take 2. Sorry about that, ladies. I'm back again. For some reason, I look really big in my video now. That was because my phone fell off the computer. So I've got a little setup here and it didn't do what it was supposed to. So welcome again if you're watching take 2 of Focus Friday with Pauline. So what we had talked about, which you can see in the previous part of this video, is firstly we talked about having your messaging really, really dialed in. So this is in order to have just one strategy that is going to work for you in your business. Secondly is to get clear on what your hook is. So what is that one thing that you do for your clients? What problem do you solve for them? And having that really, really clear and specific as well. The third thing you need to do is to be consistent, because people need to see you regularly, and that message that you're sharing with them needs to be consistent. So it needs to constantly have you need to have the same message. And you're going to get to the stage where you think, well, maybe I should start talking about something else, because I've talked about this. How many more times can I say something? What else can I say? But the more that you can do that have that consistency, the more people are going to really resonate with what you're saying. It takes a while. People don't hear something once and go, wow, that is amazing, I'm going to go and do that, and that's all they need. They need repetition. They need to hear something over and over again. They need to hear it from this angle. They need to hear it from that angle. And the more that you can do that, the more you are going to stay on track and have the right people coming to you. So don't try and think, okay, I'm someone who specializes maybe in weight loss. Therefore, maybe I should also start talking about how their relationship is going. I mean, sure, that's part of it, but you don't go and do a whole webinar on building the right relationship with your partner. You don't go and do maybe a whole thing on gardening and how that can help you lose weight. You stick to the core problem, and everything needs to relate to that core problem. So that's number 3. Step 3 is being consistent. So you need to have a consistent message, and you also need to have consistency in your activity. So for me, what my plan is this year, and this may be a bit scary for some of you, is I'm going to send out 3 emails each week. They're not going to be long emails. They're going to be very targeted emails. And I'm going to use those emails as my content as well on my Facebook page, in my group, on my other social media. And I'm going to do my Facebook live training each week regularly. That's going to be my consistent. That particularly is going to be the one thing that I do each week that will have people knowing that that's when I do my lives. So having something like that people can rely on and they'll look forward to, and they'll know that they'll have that expectation of seeing you regularly. That works really well. With the 3 emails per week, for example, what that means is that I can regularly connect with my audience. I'm not going to wait until I have an offer and then suddenly bombard them with emails when I have an offer, but I can have that consistent presence in their inbox, and I'm not going to suddenly have to feel like I'm selling anything, because they will be used to seeing me there. Now, if that's a bit onerous for you, then you can, of course, cut back. If you're sending an email once a month, then 3 emails a week is a huge ask. So I'm not expecting that from you. But you need to find what your level of consistency is going to be, what's going to work for you, what can you commit to? Because if you commit to 3 emails a week and then after the first week you go, this is crazy, I can't do this, and then you end up doing nothing, then you would have been better to commit to 1 email a fortnight, for example. So, and it's something that can change with time. So it's not like you say that now and then that's your commitment for the whole year. So it can be flexible depending on the response of your market, and also depending on your lifestyle as well. So what are you going to commit to? What actions will you commit to? And they don't need to be huge, because I know people who are on Facebook 2 hours a day. They're in 10 different groups. They commit to going to each of the theme. Every time there's an offer, they'll go and post in 10 groups. Every day there's a tip day like we have here, they'll go and post their tips in 10 different groups. And it gets to be a dreadful chore. It's stressful. It's too much, and you're going to get burnt out doing that. And you end up getting so caught up in what you're doing that you're not thinking, well, actually, what is the result of me doing this? Is this getting me clients? Is it getting me noticed? And if it's not, then you need to rethink it, because you want to have a strategy that is simple to follow, that is straightforward, that is step by step, and involves the smallest amount of expenditure of your time and energy, in order to get a result. Because there's no point in being really, really busy and hustling all the time and thinking you're doing a lot when it's not getting you a result. So I invite you now to step back and stop doing what you normally do and analyze it. If you are doing those posts in 10 different groups, what's the result of that? Are you getting clients? Are you getting people asking you questions? Are you connecting with people? Are you getting follow-up direct messages? And if you're not, then you need to rethink what you're doing because it's not necessarily working. So that is number 3, step 3. So step 4. Now, step 4 is one of the most important steps, and that is to have a fabulous, fabulous offer. Because your offer is going to be what makes you the money. Your offer is going to be what gets you the clients. And that offer must have a very tangible and defined and brilliant outcome for your clients. And what you're going to do then is to sell the outcome. So instead of selling the offer and how many weeks it is and how many sessions they get and how many modules you've got, they don't care about that. They don't care about how much it costs either, even though you think they do. Because if you can demonstrate the value of the outcome of them having that offer, having that program, joining that program or your one-on-one coaching package or whatever it is you have, then if the transformation or the outcome or the result of that is going to be a big enough result for them, then the money doesn't matter. If they can see that value, and you're going to have to help them see that by selling the value rather than selling the offer itself, then the money doesn't matter and they will pay anything for it if it is positioned correctly. If you have correctly identified the big problems that they're having and you're positioning yourself or your offer as that solution to those problems. So that's 4, is to design, step 4, design your irresistible offer and sell the outcome. Step 5 is to connect with your audience. So this is getting back again to that consistency. There's no point in you just throwing out content here and there. It needs to be strategic content that is designed to attract the audience, to have them respond to you, to have them reach out to you, and to have them continually come towards you. Because there's nothing worse than having to constantly go out and look for clients, because then you get into that desperation mode. And instead of you being open to people coming and finding you, you're having to go out and chase them. And that's not fun. It's not fun when you feel that you have to get clients because you're so desperate for them. It's so much nicer. It's so much more flowing and easy if they are coming to you. And that's what you can set up by using this system that I'm talking about today. And then number 6, step 6 is for you to regularly make the offer. So instead of having big launches, instead of having a webinar, instead of having a 5-day, a 7-day challenge, and I'm not knocking any of those because I have done all of these as well, why don't you decide to cut it back and make it as simple as possible? And just follow these steps and then making an offer that has people asking you to work with you. So not going out and saying, here's my new program, it's called this, it costs this much, it's this, this, and this. Instead, selling the outcome of the program, selling how fantastic their life will be if they do this program, and then saying, do you want to find out more? Would you like me to send you an invitation? And inviting only those people who respond to the next step. And that's it. Simple, simple, simple. So quickly going through those 6 steps again is number 1 is having your messaging really, really dialed in, because none of this works unless you have that happening. Number 2 is to decide on what your hook is. What is that big problem that you solve, and what is your solution to that problem? You need to be able to clearly convey that to people. Number 3 is to be consistent. So be consistent with your messaging and also be consistent with your activity. Number 4 is to design that irresistible offer and have a fabulous outcome that you're going to sell. That's what you're going to be selling, the outcome, not the offer itself. Number 5 is to regularly connect with your audience by giving them great content. And it doesn't need to be too much, like I said before. So my plan is to do 3 emails a week and use those emails then as my content on social media, which I could do as a little Facebook Live here and there. I could do as a post. I can put on Instagram. I can put anywhere else that I want. And then also committing to that weekly, this weekly live training. So have something that you do regularly. Now, I know for some of my clients, they have turbulent home lives, so it means that it's really hard for them to commit to a certain time and say every Friday at midday I'm going to do my live training. If that's the case, that's fine. What you do is you commit to doing a weekly training, and maybe the time will change and you can let people know just a short time in advance. Maybe you can talk about the topic you're going to be talking about, and then the timing might just be a little bit fluid because you have that unpredictable stuff that's happening at home. So if that's the case, sell the topic, and then people can watch on the replay if they're not available for that live video, for example. So, but don't let that stop you. That's my point here. Don't think, well, my life is so up in the air, there's no way I could ever commit to a Friday at 12 o'clock. Then don't. Do what's going to work for you. So that was step 5, and step 6 is for you to regularly make the offer. So regularly invite people. Invitations, rather than doing great big launches, great big funnels, great big launch challenges and that sort of thing. Instead, just make an offer and sell. As I said, selling the outcome is then you're going to invite people to ask for an invitation to the offer, and that's when you send them the details. You're not going to have a big sales page that you promote. You're only going to send the offer, the specifics of the offer, the invitation, to those who ask for it. So how does that sound? Does it sound a little bit less busy, less overwhelming than having to do all these different things and set up automations and email sequences and a million other things? So let me know what your strategy is going to be this year. Do you like this strategy? Do you like this strategy of simplifying everything down and having that very clear dialed in messaging and hook and outcome all defined, so that that's what you're going to be selling, and people would be drawn to you because of that clarity, of that understanding that you have of exactly where they're at and how you can position yourself as the solution to their problems. So any questions, let me know. Have a fabulous week, and I will see you again next week.